Hello learners. In this lecture we will see what all are the technical jobs that we have as a civil engineers and in which all field we can go. So before that, in the previous lecture I missed to tell you what all topics you need, what all softwares you need to learn at least by the time you do your graduation. Okay, so I'll go back to that and then I'll come here. So first is that it's very difficult to learn everything, right? You cannot learn everything, so that has to come through experience. But at least by the time you finish your graduation, try to learn AutoCAD. Even before learning AutoCAD, you have to learn Excel. I mean, that is how it is. Most of the people don't tell that because they themselves don't know what is the importance of Excel in the market. First, try to learn try to learn with AutoCAD. No issue with that. Along with AutoCAD, you have to learn Excel. You should learn all the shortcut commands. You should know how to insert those rows, columns, how to do the analysis, each and everything, the conditional formatting. There are a lot of commands, and you have to learn it to that level. You can do anything with the help of Excel sheet. Then you can learn even AutoCAD. Okay, along with the AutoCAD, if you get an opportunity, you can try to learn Revit and learn one of this out of SketchUp, 3D Max, and AutoCAD 3D or Google SketchUp. You can learn anything. Google SketchUp is a bit easy, as I heard. I never used it. So learn Google SketchUp, learn AutoCAD. They're very simple. When I say learning, it's all about practicing here. There is no much technical concepts involved in AutoCAD and Google SketchUp. You have to just practice, practice, and practice. That's it. So learn AutoCAD, and you can learn Revit also. Revit is also important. Most of the MNC company, they prefer person who knows Revit well. Okay, and then you can learn Google SketchUp. But start with AutoCAD, then Revit, and then the three this thing Google SketchUp. Excel anyhow you have to learn. Okay, and then Primavera is not required. Just in case if you are interested to learn, you can learn. MS Project you can try to learn. Okay, yeah. But then from software from this point of view, you don't have to learn anything. I mean, all the thing. ETABS, if you learn, it's well and good. StatPro also, if you learn, it's well and good. Else ETABS is enough, because StatPro and ETABS are just a software, but you should have the fundamentals in the structural engineering and civil engineering. Safe is not required unless you have learned ETABS and StatPro. Safe will not help you. Learn with ETABS. RCDC is good if you learn them. RAM is not required. If you're a person from India, then RAM is not required. If you're from other country, I feel RAM is mostly used in that country. You can learn RAM. Tekla is not required as of now. ANSYS is not required. Max Road you don't have to require, and there are very few people in the market who will teach you Max Road. Right? Procon is also not required. Okay, so there are a lot of these are the softwares which I explained. You can start with AutoCAD, learn Revit, learn Google SketchUp. That is enough here. Here you have to learn Excel, but any cost you have to learn Excel. That's it. If you don't learn anything out of this, it's okay, but learn Excel. That's it. Yeah, these things are not required. ArcGIS, CostX is not required. If you get a time, you can learn MS Project. Primavera you can learn, because this MS Project and Primavera, you'll understand the concept only when you start to work in the site. You work for 1 year, and after that you will understand how the construction methodology is done, how the footing is casted and all, and then you can try to make use of this software. Right, you should have basic understanding. Right. Yeah, I hope these things are clear. Now to go with the yeah technical jobs what we have, we'll try to see them. Yeah. So first is, whenever you graduate out of the college, most of the companies what they hire is they take you as a site engineer. So what you have to do, you become a site engineer, you go to a site, the drawings will be given to you. So based on the drawing, you have to do the execution. Sometimes they may put you into the quality control department. There you have to do the testing of a cement, you have to do the testing of a rebar, and there are a lot of other soil testing and all. Okay, like modified Proctor test, then and how to find the water content in the soil, all those things whatever we study in our engineering, all the labs what we have studied, all the things we need to do in the quality control department. Else if you don't get in the quality control department, you can become as a junior site engineer, and you'll be given a structural drawings, you have to do the execution. You have to work from around 10, 12, 13, 14 hours in the site. Sometimes the company, I mean the project started, I mean the work started 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and it goes till 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the night. And as a site engineer, it is your responsibility to get the work done, and you have to be there. So that is the why people, most of the people don't prefer to work as a site engineer, because it's not a easy thing to work for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours at the site, that too in the very hot temperature. Yeah. So second is, as I mentioned, you can become a quality engineer. Okay, sometimes site engineer himself will do the quality engineer. So it depends on the company what role is given to you. But if you're a quality engineer, you should be knowing all the lab test and all. You should have a very good uh, technical knowledge if you want to be a quality engineer. Next is that you can become a BBS engineer or in a precast industry or a production engineer. So this usually happens when we have the precast construction. Like in the precast construction, in the sense, if you see the metro stations and all, only the pier will be casted by us. The deck and other things will be brought from the company. I mean, brought from the uh, manufacturing unit, and they are going to do the erection. So in that factory and all, we try to do all those slab staircase casting and all. So there you become an engineer and you become a precast. In that precast industry, you can become a production engineer. You can become even a bar bending schedule engineer and all. Okay, so there are also you have the opportunity in that industry. After that, we have a planning and procurement engineer. See, this planning procurement will happen only once you gain experience. As a fresher, no one is going to give you all this role, because unless and until you don't understand the construction methodology, how the work is executed in the site, you cannot do any planning. So this will happen after 2 or 3 years. Let us say you want to get into the planning department, you can become a planning engineer. Then you should be knowing Microsoft MS Excel and MS Project softwares. With the help of that software, we try to do the planning. And also the procurement engineer. A procurement engineer is someone who will do the negotiations with the vendors. Let us say you want to bring a steel into the side, steel for your work. Then you call 3 4 different vendors, you do a negotiations with them, then you try to procure the materials. So those engineer in charge is called as the procurement engineer. Okay, yeah. And other than that, they have a different role for the procurement engineer. So based on that, they are going to execute. Next is formwork engineer. So formwork engineer is very, in a very big companies, they have this engineer, and you require a lot of technical skills in this. You need to do the formwork design and all. Okay, so if you want to put up a column, so you don't require a formwork engineer, because a normal carpenter can prepare a formwork, right? With the help of plywood, he can prepare a formwork. But let us say tomorrow you want to put up a formwork for the dams, for the bridges, and let us say in the stadiums and all. So in that case, you require a very good formwork engineer who can design that formwork, because ultimately it has to take the concrete, and if it has to take the concrete, that much strength that formwork should have. So you need to do the design of the formwork. So in that case, you become a formwork engineer. But again, that role will come when you have certain experience. As a fresher, you don't get all this opportunity. Yeah. Next, if you are very good at AutoCAD, you can become an AutoCAD draftsman. But usually people, those who do diploma and those are just BTech graduates and all, people can, anyway, I mean, if you're very interested in doing the plans, and if you're interested to work on AutoCAD, you can become an AutoCAD draftsman. Okay, yeah. Then if you're good at 3D modeling, like I mentioned of the Revit, Google SketchUp, 3D Max, you can become a 3D modeler as well. See, when you become a civil engineer, it doesn't mean that you have to go and work in the site only. It depends what exactly you want to become. So you can become a 3D modeler. You can try to create some good 3D models and all, the front elevations and all those things you can do. Yeah. Next is you can become even an interior decorator if you have very good imagination skills, and if you feel that you can actually perform well in that field, then you can become an interior designer also, right? You can try to interior design, in the sense it can be anything, right from the painting and how the furniture has to be kept, or what all good things you can do in the houses or in any construction. See, today the office designing is gaining importance. If you go to any big MNC offices company, you get a very good luxurious office, right? So it's all about the interiors, how the interiors are prepared and all. So kitchen designing is also good. Today you see a lot of modular kitchens coming up, right? Different concept of kitchens are coming up, so all that comes under the interior department. Then if you're good at vastu, so vastu is a I mean, what is vastu? It's the science of house building, like where the kitchen has to be kept, where the bathroom has to be kept, which direction. I think I've explained this in one of my course on learn to read architectural drawing, where I've explained you how those things has to be done. Even in the AutoCAD plans also, I've explained you where the bathroom should come, where the entrance of the house should come, where the kitchen should come, right? All those things, you become a vastu consultant, and people are earning good earning good by doing vastu consultancy. You can do even that as well if you have interest. Then you can become a government valuer, but that require experience. If you have from 5 10 year experience, only then you can become a government valuer. Okay, this is not required. As a fresher, you don't get this job. Then is a PB structure. PB is a steel industry. So if you see some big industry, automobile industries and all, we make use of steel structure. So the person who is in charge of that industry, I mean, who is in charge of that work, we call him as a, we call those as a steel structure or PB structure. And here, there also you have good opportunity again. So that is also good. Then offshore structures, that is also very difficult to get, because offshore structures require a lot of technical knowledge, right? When you construct buildings and all, jetties and all inside the water and all, so then you become a, then you have opportunity in the offshore structure, like ONGC, we have oil and natural gas. Then we have Bombay High, right? So there are a lot of companies which will actually extract the oil from the middle of the ocean. So there you need to construct certain temporary structures and all. So there also you have opportunities, but that require experience and all. Yeah. Then same thing, oil and gas industry also you have opportunity. Then again, this is also very good, you can get a job in the airport department, in the road design, the bridge construction, metro construction and all. That is also possible. There are a lot of companies which will hire you. In the airport we have such like Bangalore Metro we have, and then we have Kempegowda International Airport. There are a lot of international airport, the Adani groups and all. They try to hire people in working for the airport constructions and all. But you should have good knowledge in that. Next is, as I mentioned, if you are good at concrete technology, and then there are a lot of cement manufacturing plants like Ultratech, ACC Cements and all. There also you can find your job. Next is, if you don't want to do all those things, then if you do your masters, once you're done with a BTech, if you do masters in structural engineering, you can become a design engineer. So there are big companies like Ramboll, you have Jacobs, we have Atkins, we have TRC, L&T, Total Environment. These people hire people, those who have done MTech in structures, and you can start to work in the designing company, where you should know designing softwares like ETAB, StatPro, SAFE and all. And even you can do your masters in geotechnical engineering, then you can work in a geotech consultant, you can work under a big geotech consultants and all. Like you see the cricket pitches and all, right? If you see the cricket pitches and all, those pitches, how it is prepared, with the help of a soil they are prepared, right? So that's quality of the soil should be good. If the quality of the soil should be good, we need to do a good study about the soil. So when you do your masters in masters in geotechnical engineering, we actually study about the soil. And there are a lot of things. If you look at the leaning tower of Pisa, what has happened there? For the leaning tower of the Pisa, what has happened? The soil is not good, there is a settlement in the soil. So again, it is a role of a geotech consultant to try to understand the behavior of the soil and all. And it's a very good field, you can try to make your career in the geotechnical field as well. Yeah. Then you can become a contractor if you have, let us say, 5 or 10 year of experience in the construction industry. Then you can put up your own firm, and you can try to do the contracting works and all. And government surveyor will happen only when you know how to do the surveying, if you know to operate the total stations, to take the levels, auto level and all. The government will conduct the exam, especially in the Indian government, they conduct the exam once in 2 years and all. So you can become even a government valuer. And if you don't want to do anything, you can start your own consultancy once you have experience. Let us say you work as a site engineer for 1 year. Okay. Then you know even AutoCAD, you know certain designing softwares like ETABS and StatPro, and you have a basic understanding of a structure. Then after 2 3 years of work, you can start up your own consultancy. You can give plans, you can give the structural design, you can do the site visits and all. There also you can have a good opportunities. So there are a lot of opportunities as a young engineers. You can adopt whichever you want. And the main thing is that you need to have a passion for that work. It's not that your friends are doing, even you will be doing those things. You have a passion, automatically you'll find interest in all these subjects and all this role, right? Yeah. So I hope these things are clear. In the next lecture, we'll try to see what are the different field, from government field what we have, especially from Indian point of view. And we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.